I'm just imagining if this interaction were to happen with a drug dealer.
Oh,
right?
yeah, probably.
Like, you pull up, they're like, hey, man, I got the pack on the block. Here you go, whatever the fuck. And then you're like, well, but there might be something wrong with it. I'll give you $100 off. And you're like,
it might be laced.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
And then he's like, all right, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
And
you're like, well, he did have good web design. Hey-o. Welcome back to the LooneyBin Podcast, episode 29.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm Preston.
I'm Nate.
I'm John.
Sorry we're late today, guys. We were getting a dog illegally from the Taliban.
Yeah, they have an outpost nearby.
Yeah.
It's actually disguised as a UPS.
In St. Paul.
And so they ship out, all sorts of Taliban stuff, including dogs.
Yeah, but mostly dogs.
But mainly dogs.
Yeah.
The Taliban.
It's a side gig.
They don't
The Taliban
do much
thing's a side gig for them.
Yeah, right.
They had to get an office job now.
Yeah, they spay and they neuter right off the bat, like all the shots you need. So it's a good deal.
But
Yeah.
there's no medical history whatsoever. Or they never do it actually properly.
Well,
right? They don't even know.
They do it all in house.
Right.
So
The birth range of it is just kind of like, they're maybe born from June to October.
All right, bring out the special guest.
Speaking, this one might take a while.
Junie.
Bear with us.
Does Henry have it out on a leash?
No.
Yeah. The thing, the creature.
Mrs. She's very...
Could you imagine if we just walked in a hippo or something? Just something just crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're talking about a dog, and then it's just a horse.
Hey!
Guys, well,
John got a dog.
Junie, welcome to the podcast.
What do you got to say? Live and on camera.
Guys, they say in the film biz you should never work with kids or animals, and we're doing both of them.
Yeah.
Child animal. Hi.
Okay.
She really is a... Yep, here's a cord. Oh, no.
She's just doing the rounds, and now she'll leave.
Yeah. Oh, classic. She's already trained for it. Oh, Jay, don't you dare. No.
She's fine.
Not the server.
Oh, my God.
See, this is...
Bonked her head on the TV.
Yeah, Henry, just come in.
We need a dog cam.
We need a shock collar.
Oh God. She's pretty well behaved, honestly.
Yeah.
Like she's curious, but she's like pretty mellow.
She's like most dogs, just unaware of her body at that age.
Like she's not like frantic and like.
She's definitely, you could see that she's just more intrigued. She's not excited to say hello, it seems like.
Right.
She just is more of like, what is this all about? So for everything else, like her seeing everything, it's never like interacting with other dogs. She's not afraid of them. She'll do like the classic dog communication where she has to submit, right? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so she kind of is afraid sometimes of that, but she wants to play a lot. But I don't know. She doesn't bark a crazy amount. She has an attitude, 100%. Like, she definitely does as a female. But
So, all right. So tell us the story. Tell me. You know, I want to know. What did you like? Find this dog on Craigslist or
Taliban?
Yeah, Taliban.
UPS start? No, we were looking. We weren't looking for a while actually. So it was just kind of a random thing that happened where this is like, I knew where Henry got a Vizsla from, and I really wanted a Vizsla for a while. The Great Pyrenees I wanted, but
Holy shit!
I know I really wanted one of those, but I remember last year, I was like, I want one so bad, and just wasn't going to be able to happen, with the size of that dog and not having outdoor space. So they were kind of thinking about it, and then I just went to look at on the website where Henry got the other dog, the other Vizsla. And there was one available, one female. I just sent random text to her one day. I was like, hey, do you have a puppy available or whatever? She was like, yeah. And that just started going. I started texting, and Megan was kind of on board, but she's the type of person, like, you just got to do it. So it
and
was
then she'll be on board later.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, it's not like on board
Surprise.
later, but she just says she'll think it up through it. Just like, can we really do this or can we not? Which is
Well, honey, I sold our house.
yeah, literally. Just do it. But it was that.
I assumed you'd be on board, you know. I took the initiative.
Where are we gonna live? What do you mean? How about a yacht?
Tent.
A houseboat.
Yeah, on the street.
Pontoon.
They definitely had, like, it was that week when we came up, when J-Man came up here. And when we came up, it was maybe about 4 days. They're like, okay. And I asked, what's the process? And then Megan kind of wanted to get it that Saturday. And I was like, well, I didn't want to go down on the Saturday. And it turned out to be crappy weather anyways that day. So I was like, well, I have a day off Thursday. Then we'll go down there. Sadly, she couldn't come with, but it was Henry and I. Then we went down there. That was a grind.
I heard you got 1 hour of sleep on your trip.
Me?
Before you left for your trip.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think, well, I was here on the couch because Henry went to bed a little bit before. And then I was kind of like, just talking. And Tyler was on his YouTube queue, and then he started talking. Then he brought into, he's like, "This is why this government's fucked." And I was like,
"It reeled you in."
Yeah.
Now
then,
you got to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So then I was like, "All right." Then I went to sleep, and I was like, I almost missed my alarm. I think I was on the last part of it. Then Henry woke me up yelling, and we're out 3:35. Drove, Jesus. And I was kind of like in and out. I don't know. It was pretty bad. And Henry was just just stone cold. I don't think he was even listening to music, of course. That's who Henry is.
Just driving and listening to just.
Yeah, literally.
Just the wind.
Yeah, literally. And we get down to one spot, man, Sauk Center. We get to Sauk Center, and we stop there. I just need water. I didn't think I brought my water. It was just somewhere in the back, but I bought this volcanic ash water. Just some stupid thing. I was
marketing got
some health water or something like that.
It was like electrolytes. So it was melted from the snow and from charcoal from the volcano.
Did it have a little red logo at the top, kind of band?
No, this is different. This is new, and I kind of love doing that. Just random.
Trying the new water that comes out.
Yeah,
dude, new water just dropped. It's no longer fresh.
$5. And it was I was just sitting there drinking it. And then, of course, Henry has to just destroy that holiday bathroom and then pick up a breakfast sandwich after that.
You gotta make room.
And they just get down there, and then it was, get to the highway. We get off the highway. Then you go on get off the interstate, go on the highway. Then you go on gravel road for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just pull up. She comes out. She says, "Hey, how's the drive?" We get in there. And "Yeah, you must be John." "Yep." "Where is she?" "Here she is." "Okay, here's your paperwork." I was like, "What should I make the checkout to?" Kind of stood around. I was kind of expecting just to talk or mingle a little bit, for me to actually ask the questions I wanted to ask. And I'm all right, well, good to have a good trip. And I was like,
get her the fuck out of here.
I mean, the seats were still warm in the car. That's how fast it was. But she was really nice, and obviously the dog is well off and everything. The vet said anything, but it was just okay. So we were actually gonna surprise visit my mom or something in Jamestown, but I was like, that's another hour, and it's only 8 o'clock now, or 9 o'clock. It's just what are we doing? And so we drove.
I'm telling you, man, that dog's gonna be trouble. Or she wanted it. It's almost like she wanted to get it off her hands too much.
Yeah, I was kind of, both Megan and I were kind of nervous about that. And I was texting, and she was really kind of
did you even get a chance to maybe play with her and see what she was actually like?
Henry did. And
what were you doing?
I was looking at the paperwork, the dad.
Fine print.
You're like, "Henry, we good? All right, let's get her."
No, honestly, it was practically that, because I don't know what a Vizsla puppy should probably be like, or what it is, and I trusted Henry because he was at this breeder before, and so when Henry came in, then he was like, "All right," and she came right out, and she was pretty sweet, but it was kind of "Oh yeah, I'll give you $100 off because it's hernia that you did say before." I was like, what? And Henry was like, "Oh, it's fine," and I was like, "Okay," and I still paid $1,000, and which was kind of.
But you saved $100?
No, it was so quick that it was I read.
Wait, so she wanted to save you $100?
She was like, "If you really want." It was type of if you
want fuck yeah, I really want.
I know, I was weird, but it was so fast I couldn't even think it. 1 hour sleep bullshit. So.
Wait. So Junie has a hernia. Or had a hernia.
It is a small hernia, quote unquote. It's from her umbilical cord.
Okay. And so she offered $100 off, and you said, "No, it's fine."
No, it's just is like she said it real quick passing, and then she was like, "Well, here's your folder and everything else," and then I was like,
This lady sounds like a piece of shit.
"No, she was really not. I mean, she was nice, but she had like a weird accent to her. Kind of.
Why is this lady
Transylvania?
Why is this,
No, she was like our age. She was like 25,
Oh, really?
and she looked well kept, and it was
this
just.
lady's like dealing dogs like it's a
she's
pack of Coke or
vampire.
something.
You think she's young, but she's actually 300 years old.
No, she's scared. I don't know. It's just weird. The accent threw me off. I was like, "What are you?"
Wait, she had an
Hooter, right?
accent?
What kind of accent?
It was like a weird hick accent. Like I
Yeah.
never even heard. Like not even North Dakota. Kind of like.
Kind of like you don't interact with anyone in North Dakota, but you live in North Dakota accent.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I mean.
I can picture that in my head.
But the website was really, honestly, the website was kind of the thing we kept going back and forth with, like, weird that she hasn't said anything. Maybe I'm not asking the right questions or whatnot. But the website was really well done, and it was showing really great reviews and everything else. And Henry was talking about Davy, and I was like, okay. So it's just kind of like silence of Henry and I driving home with the dog just sitting in Henry's lap, and it was, well, is she?
I'm just imagining if this interaction were to happen with a drug dealer,
Oh
right?
yeah, probably.
Like you pull up, they're like, "Hey man, I got the pack on the block. Here you go, whatever the fuck." And then you're like, well, but there might be something wrong with it. I'll give you $100 off. And you're like,
It might be-
well,
might be
what?
laced.
Yeah, and you're like, what? I just...
And then he's like, "All right, we'll see you later."
Yeah.
And you're like,
well, he did have good web design.
It was so weird, but it was like you gotta understand like the excitement of like, you finally got it.
True, yeah. That's
You
another
know?
piece of lore that people don't know. You didn't have a dog growing up.
Yeah, it's like all I had was just like outside dogs, and they weren't ever in our house or like.
What does that mean, outside dogs?
Well, like I'm saying, like family dogs,
Like
so we were
farm
always
dogs?
on the.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like
Yeah.
stray dogs. That
Oh yeah, they just literally just come in. My dad was sitting at night going. you know,
Fishing for 'em.
Yeah, literally.
I know you're out there. It's just the dead of
Yeah.
night. Just
Dave, it's 2 a.m. Come to bed.
pitch black outside. He's like,
Yep.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, literally. But it was definitely just as like, this is the dog. I've always been kind of like,
Kind of one of those things that you've always wanted to do.
kind of yes, and also being like, I can train it the way that.
It's like,
hopefully-
it's my dog.
Yeah. The other things that annoy me about other dogs or how they are trained.
That won't be my kid.
Yeah, that won't be him.
the classic.
Yeah, literally.
God, I can't imagine.
But it was also kind of like, it would be fine. And so there was a little bit, I think, a literally awakening call about it. But it's been pretty easy, and it's been nice to bring her to the store in her kennel. And so she's just been chilling in the office, and then she's fine. And then I left her at home a couple times, and she's been good too. So we're setting up a camera, and for her
Okay.
to watch it, and for us to watch her. So it's honestly been really more aggravating that the weather has been really bad because she's small and she needs a jacket then when it gets kind of cold, it seems like. Yeah.
Jacket for
No
Julie.
flannel. But you can't go out. So then it was nice on Sunday. We took her out to her parents' house, which are out. I'm out there a lot working on something, or if we're just out there for dinner,
Right.
and just letting her run. It's out in country practically,
Yeah,
in like
that's
a
great.
different community.
Like, where is she going to go?
Right.
Exactly. And so it's like it's way easier, and then she can point and be interactive with wilderness instead of just.
Is that your hopes that she's going to be a hunting dog? Later
Yeah.
down the line?
I want to take her hunting, but I'm also not like I'm a medium hunter. You know what I
You're
mean?
not like,
Every
well,
week. Yeah.
3 a.m., let's get up, boys. Here we go. All right.
I think-
Every weekend.
Yeah, let's handle a gun at 3 a.m.
Yeah, literally.
Sleep deprived and still drunk from the night before.
Yeah, literally.
That's always where the best decisions come out.
Oh my god, I have a story.
You're sitting up
with
in the
that.
stand and you're like, I bet you can't shoot that tree.
Yeah, literally. But
It's not a tree, that's Bob.
God, that is a great line of story. I'll say that right after this. But no, I just want to take her out a couple times, or like 3 times a year, something like that would be fun. I think also you guys would pheasant hunting. It's just you're walking. It's not much, like you're active, and she just points. It's really fun to watch like a Vizsla or something else like that. A pointer.
Just like
points in the bush.
inherently,
They'll
like,
find it
no-
out for you.
Yeah, they literally point to where
sweet.
they're at.
Oh
so
my
it's like
God.
yeah. So like all you really have
Trained
to-
killers.
Right.
No, it is, but it's an
Just
instinct.
inherent.
though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so crazy, and I would like to do that, but I also really like having a dog that would be able to, like you're saying about the farm dogs, they were always be able to round you. You call, they come back or whatever. You always can be outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really want, is for her to interact. It's like, she's a good trail dog too. So she could come on trails like for hiking
Right.
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And once you train her really too.
Well, yeah, I mean, you
Fend off
got a
bears.
very active breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's exciting because it's like, we want to be out of the apartment as much as we can.
Right.
And so then that's good. But then also this is like, I'm glad it was now instead of like later on, because then you get to kind of interact with it right away when it's like beginning of the spring, summer. Instead of imagine getting it like, oh, when we get a house, it's already fall.
Right.
Oh God.
And then it's
you know,
inside the whole.
there's
Yeah.
really
first
never a good
5
time
months.
Right.
to get a dog. That's just kind of like anything.
We got my dog in March, and he was born in December. And every time the snow was melting, he would only piss in the snow spots because that's all he knew. And I remember he was very scared of leaves for a long time too.
Mr. Ditz.
Yeah, and so there'd just be this minuscule, just small pile of snow, and it'd just be yellow. Because you
God.
just, like, I don't know, it was just so funny. What a weird thing, but
That's funny.
yeah. It's just funny. Like, imagine that. Imagine
That's
being
all they
born,
know.
and you're like, wow, what a white one. This is my world, a white wonderland. And then spring comes, you're like, it's brown. Everything's brown.
It's so funny because it's like when
You're like, what is this texture? It's spongy, but not really.
It's
Sticking
mud.
to me.
Yeah.
It's like when Jonas said, he was like, when I first sent him the video or photo, Jonas is like, good morning world or something he said. And it's so funny because it is true. She just, like in the car, just, you know what I mean?
That is
Or like when
crazy.
Henny rips ass. you know what I mean?
New
Just-
smell.
Yeah, a new smell.
Wow.
She cleared a damn room too. Oh my God, she was really good at that.
Good for her.
But she's not really, yeah. But along with that hunting story, about 3 a.m., we were at a bar over Thanksgiving in Jamestown, and Ty gets a call, which he's like a reserve sheriff, whatever. Whatever's happening, he always knows what's happening,
Right.
you know. And we were sitting on there, and he gets a call like someone's been shot or someone has an injury out in the middle of nowhere, north of town. And so then they're trying to find the ambulance is trying to find him and whatnot. Turns out that, they're in some cross section that you don't know actually where he is. He's sitting in the car. His buddy there, coyote hunting, and he shot his other friend through
God,
a
bro.
thermoscope. But you don't.
Oh, you thought it was a coyote?
Yeah, and he's like, bang, nice. And then he's like, Bob, are you okay?
That'd be like my worst fear.
Oh.
No,
my God.
I'm not like that guy. I'm just is like, I'm pretty cautious. I definitely understand, the importance and the dangers of guns.
I mean, I think when you're like, is that a human or?
yeah.
Ah, fuck it. There's no one out
No,
here.
it's just instant trigger. It's just instant.
Oh, there's no thought.
Yeah, there's no thought.
Bob, I got him. He's down.
Yeah, literally.
Bob.
He's shining a flashlight.
Yeah.
I'm over here. Oh my God.
Jesus.
He's just-
Bob, you're right on top of him.
Well, it's still moving. Bang.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. John, I know you took gun training. I mean, I assume you took gun training. Okay, so maybe you didn't take gun training. Anyway,
I did.
This
yeah.
is all the gun training
did?
you need.
Yeah, I've taken hunter safety and
okay,
concealed. Yeah.
fire. Okay. Did they show you the movie?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So in firearms safety,
You took firearm safety?
yeah.
When?
Like you're 12 or 13.
What was
or-
your hopes?
It's just so you can
Just
go
to be
hunt with your dad.
Yeah.
Or, it's
And my
also
dad doesn't
loose.
even hunt.
It's
Yeah,
just-
that's what I'm saying. For you, what?
Just to know how to
understand.
use a gun, understand, like, respect
do you
firearms.
think you can retain that knowledge right now?
I mean, we learned how to, like, basically take apart an action, like the gun action, and, like, clean it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You shot with
I
us
mean-
the other day, or a while back. 22s.
I've shot a little bit.
It's like
I
the-
might be able to remember.
Muzzle. It's like no muzzle flashing type of deal. Like understanding that this kills. It's more of like a generic like whatever you have in your hand, no matter what, if it's like a smaller caliber or whatnot,
Mhm.
it still has like power to hurt someone.
Right. That's the overarching
Yeah.
kind of like theme of the whole thing is just like respecting the
Respect it.
weapon.
Respect the pouch.
Respect.
Literally. And it's
Respect
like, mine was a little bit also like understanding that you're going out and you're killing an animal and having respect for that animal.
Yeah, how does hunting with a dog work? How do you not shoot the dog?
Oh, they're pretty low.
Yeah, but also
And, like,
What's
you don't,
low?
the dog's low, and you don't take a dog out for like deer
I guess
hunting.
if it's bird hunting, they're flying out of the bush, and so your shots
they're
already
not
up
going
there.
out until you tell them to go, and they just pick up the dead birds. Like in duck
No, but I'm talking
hunting.
about, like, you said that she
Oh,
would
pheasant
point or
hunting.
something, you know, like she would,
Oh, yeah, like that's why the pointer, because they'll go up, they won't say anything, and they'll point, and then the pheasant or a grouse is usually inside that bush or a ditch or something,
right?
and then they'll fly up. It scares fly up. You're never really shooting at the ground, because you never use a dog for turkey hunting either. But
Yeah, they
Never use a dog for turkey hunting.
Well,
That sounds like one of those old mannerisms, you
Yeah.
know, like
never, and like they're like they don't explain anything else. You're just
Yeah.
like, what? Never use a dog for turning.
well, like
Yeah.
turkeys, you have to call. They come in, like a mating call. And I don't know much about turkey hunting. I've never gone turkey hunting, but
you know more than me, man.
Well, it's weird. Yeah, it's a weird.
Yeah, there's a so in firearm safety. There's a like short film that they show that is basically it's like a fucking drama short film of
Just
these
scary,
two brothers go out hunting and one brother shoots the other brother and he dies.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's kind
And
of.
so they basically like traumatize you into like
Yeah.
You can look it
respecting
up.
weapons. And it's like it's kind of fucked. I was just like, what?
When we were younger.
Oh, I recognize you. You were in the gun training video. Can you imagine that? Your IMDb is like
Yeah.
firearm safety brother
That would be
number
nuts.
one.
United States
Yeah.
firearm safety short film.
There's no way those dudes were actors, right? Like, there's no way.
No.
They probably were interns that worked at the fucking
Yeah.
place or some
The
shit.
son
They're like,
of
it's
the
just
director.
Son, yeah.
Oh, okay,
100% probably. It's definitely like a scare tactic.
Yeah.
There's a kid. I was scared before because there's a kid in our church who accidentally shot his brother with one, and they're afraid of telling their parents. So he sat there acting like it was a 22. It was
I
in
think
his
you've told me
stomach.
this before.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. And I remember vividly, just as like, they waited so long because they were afraid to tell the parents about like, hey, I accidentally shot my brother. And the poor guy's just sitting there on the couch, just like, man, I have a stomach ache.
just bleeding
internally.
Yeah, and he survived 100%, but just understanding that, I don't know, it's just the scare tactic probably is not, I don't know what it is today. I know you can even do it online now since COVID, but which is kind of like that loses the point of like touching a gun that is not harmful right now and then understanding what it is. But
Do you think they need to do refresher courses for stuff like that? Like maybe you need to refresh your licensure every couple of years or some shit?
I
My
definitely
parents have
say-
to do that for getting their good driver discount. They have to go to one class like every
Really?
5 years or something like that.
That's cool.
And then they have to like take a little online test. Because I remember one time I was like trying to like, I was being loud and obnoxious or whatever the hell, and mom was like, shh, your dad's taking his good driver's test. I was like, what? And I'm like 12. I'm like, aren't you guys like 50? Like, you guys don't know how to drive? Like, kids drive me everywhere. Should I not feel safe in our own car?
Poor guy was just A or B.
And he works with computers every day.
Yeah. And he's actually trackpad king.
Yeah. ThinkPad.
Yeah, he's using the
red
little
nub.
joystick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I don't know. I feel like that actually would be good for people to continually go. I mean,
I agree.
Understanding guns definitely is coming like with age, right? People think that you do, and yeah, that's true. But I think like as you get older, then sometimes maybe it just becomes a little too loose. Maybe sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I'm just casual with it, and like I'm not saying I'm just casual with it.
I'm casual with it.
They're doing their routine like the marching guys.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not like handguns though. You know what I mean? They're not like hunters. Rarely. Sometimes they have a sidearm, but I don't think they are really working with handguns. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's like long rifles or something like that, where it's. I would say so. I think also just it depends on, like a lot of people come from Minnesota hunt in North Dakota just for regulation wise and how many things you can shoot and whatnot. But I don't think it would hurt. I know definitely a lot of people would be annoyed by it.
Right.
I think they should raise the age, I think, for it, because I know, like, a lot of fathers and sons are like, I want to take out my kid. I don't even know what the age is. It was like
I don't know, bro.
I don't remember, but they want to take their young son out there, which I get, or they, give
To,
him
like,
a gun.
be, like, you're talking about, like, I'm taking my son to, like, be on my plot of land while I'm hunting.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
I think it would be cool to have, like, there would be a session of training, like, you go on a hunt, the class goes on a hunt and understands what that is, or maybe just the safety of the gun during the hunt. And,
Yeah. You'd have to do like small groups.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
Which is
yeah.
Well, we'll get them next time.
Oh, they get
just
paid.
didn't shoot anything the whole time.
More employment. People pay. Well, they'll pay if they want to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Does most of that money go to DNR or no? Is it a private company?
I don't know. We just call it Game and Fish in North Dakota, but it has to go to Game and Fish or DNR.
So it is run by the state then.
It has to be, because it almost seems like a state. I think it's also just kind of like, when can you get your hunter safety, or when can you get your driver's permit, or your farmer's permit, your farmer license.
Okay, that was bizarre when you told me that people can get their farmer's permit at like 13 and just drive anything anywhere, just fuck it.
But they
Like
can only drive.
like on rural gravel roads or some shit.
I'm not. I'm pretty sure it's that they can't drive on like interstates or highways, but they can drive on literally gravel. But honestly,
The
though,
beater truck
It's
going 90, just rattling.
You're just 12. You got the trucker's tan. You got the cig, the hat. You got a little like 5 o'clock shadow going, and you're just like barely riding in that seat. And you're
Your eyes are like this far above the steering
Can you
wheel.
imagine making eye contact with a kid and you're just what the.
and he's more manly than you are.
Yeah.
It's just like
He flicks you off.
He kind of brake checks you.
Yeah. He's like, "What are you doing, puss?" I don't even know though. Like that's what I remember. If someone could look it up even, but I'm pretty sure that it used to be that way, where people would always do like, because they need someone else driving out in the field or something else like that, so they would take like a course pretty similar to a driver's permit, or like but then they wouldn't be able, because they're, imagine just like a 13-year-old is just below average height. Can't even get to there, and he just has his fucking books on the seat. Like, you know what I mean? It seems like now that you say that it's crazy, it just is like, then you really think about it, it's like, man, that is just really dumb.
Yeah, like 13, bro.
Yeah.
What was I doing?
I would like to look that up later. Just
That's
to see
Hazel.
if it's still.
Like that is just no way.
Yeah, they grow up. There is something to say about those kids grow up faster. But
Sure, but like you're still
not really.
13.
Yeah, body wise, you're still effed.
Right.
They're never wearing a seatbelt either, and even the seatbelts in those trucks are across the waist, so they'll just cut them in half anyways in a high-speed accident. 1-ton car, Cadillac.
Bro, I remember when I was driving around those Brooklyn Center trucks, and I remember I got in there the first time and I put my seatbelt on, and the dude that I was riding with was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What do you mean? What am I doing?
That's
Doing what I've done when I've gotten in a car since I was like 0, putting on a seatbelt." And he was just like, "No, man, you don't need to do that." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "No, if we get in a crash, there's no way we're dying." And I was like, "Oh my god."
That is-
There's like we're in a truck, like a Ford F-150 with like a fucking 1-ton back. Like there's no way we're dying. And he's just like, "Nah, we're good." And then like the rest of the summer, I just conformed, and I probably was the fucker that was like to the new people. I was like, "Are you putting on your seatbelt? Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
What, you think we're going to get T-boned by a semi?
Huh, you think we're gonna hit a park bench and I'll have to go talk to the boss about how I hit a park bench?" And he'll say, "Most people don't actually come and talk to me when they do stuff like that, so I'm proud of you."
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. He said, "Now let's go check out the damage on the truck." And I go, "Okay."
Did you actually hit the park bench?
Yeah, park bench.
I do remember that actually.
Yeah, because I parked the car, the park bench was in front of me, and I got out and we started pulling weeds in the fucking playground. And I was like, "Okay, Preston, like the park bench is in front of you. When you get back in the car, remember to back up and then we'll get out of there."
Classic. Yeah, I know.
And
Full throttle.
I didn't full throttle it, but I definitely was just like for like, yeah, probably that long, like a second or two duration of just, and I was like, what is that? And I was just like, what are we doing? And they're like, is that the car? I was like,
Parking brake still on?
I'm just like pressing the gas limit. No, but like
The kid underneath is screaming.
his head is just,
Oh my god.
but
He's got a BMX helmet on. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
we're not dying. And but yeah, so I got out of the car and I had completely ripped the bench from like the metal because I was like, took me a second to be like, oh my god, that was the fucking bench. Backed up, and then the bench was just completely ripped from its 2 metal posts, and just like that, and like there was this dude that I used to work with named Jim, and he was like 60 something. He was like, I told you not to fuck the bench or something like that.
Hold on. Was this a memorial bench? Or just
Here lies great Aunt Susie. Yeah, and may she rest in peace. Pieces, actually. A seasonal worker has never driven a truck in his life.
Underpaid.
They paid thousands of dollars to memoriate and commemorate this bench, and this was their special spot, and they got proposed there. You know, they cried there. They made love there, and
you get out and you realize you're just like, oh shit.
It was luckily just a fucking shitter bench. Yeah, literally. Yeah. It was just like aluminum whatever bench, and then the rest of the summer there were just 2 cones over the stumps of what would have been the posts that hold up the bench. But yeah, I just fucked the skid rail a little bit, but it was fine. You ever driven a truck, Nate?
Yep. The first car I drove was a truck.
Like your first? Here's your keys, buddy. You're 16.
The first vehicle that I was
you laid your hands on.
Yeah. That I was in the driver's seat driving was a truck. Old sure Rusty.
Jonas chatted that in the chat.
On the Hobbin farm.
It was.
Really? And how was it?
It was a shitter.
But were you whipping them?
Nope. I was just
rear-wheel drive.
I was just like, please don't fuck up in front of Kent.
Yep. Same. It was always just as the classic.
Yeah. Did you guys have to choose who was gonna teach you how to drive?
No.
My sisters were like that to me. They were like, well, you guys are both the oldest, but I was the youngest, and they were like, don't have mom teach you how to drive.
Yeah.
Dude, my
it.
mom drove with books over her speedometers.
Why?
To read while she was driving.
Oh, I thought you were saying so she knew what she was just like. Okay, I gotta know by heart what speed I'm going. So I'm gonna put a book there to block it.
That's cool.
60.
just spot on.
We're gonna cruise down to 45 here. It's like what? No, but my sisters were like,
Mom, you're so weird.
My sisters were like, don't have mom teach you how to drive. Just don't do it. I'm like, why, what? Like, why? They're like, she's just so mean, and she's such a backseat driver.
I can see that though.
Like she just does. She just is like whoa. Yeah. But apparently they were like, you gotta have dad teach you how to drive, because basically Kelsey, my oldest sister, had my mom teach her how to drive, and then I think she mid-session kind of said, all right, mom, you're out. And then my dad checked in, and I think he taught the rest of us. But
that's funny.
I actually think the same thing happened with my middle sister, where my mom started, and it was just like, don't do it, man. Don't even go down that road. Just start with dad.
I think Emily would have been much more like, that's pretty good.
That's how my dad was.
Dad is like, my dad taught me how to drive like I would teach my kids how to drive.
Which is how?
Which is like,
you screw up, you'll learn.
So what you did there, right? Totally good, right? But when you do it again, we're just gonna try
it's the same cadence.
And not do that.
It's same cadence. But it's like the over detailedness that I do when I'm explaining shit, and the person listening doesn't give a fuck. But I just want to give all the information, and they're like. Which is exactly how my dad explained that stuff, because he's a car guy and he knows how to drive well. He raced. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah,
really? Like what?
Right.
Like drag raced?
Yes.
Or little derby around the dirt track?
I think it was drag race. I don't know for sure.
On what streets?
It was there's a track.
Yeah.
Near Wilmer.
Usually
a drag race track?
Yeah.
Well, so they always had it on airports in Jamestown. Airport. Yeah. That's weird.
I've never drag raced in my life.
It's actually
I've never spectated. I've never.
It's kind of fun spectate. It's just kind of like
I'd go.
It's cool. It's cool. Kind of like the food there. It's kind of like a fair, and then you just watch, and then you see these cars come out. Sometimes they're comical, or as in like what they look like.
Right.
Or are they
Is it
just
kind of
sort
like the Red Bull, like where they're where they're making the car and see how long it can go down the track? Like people just submit like their shitter cars or what?
No, it's like you could have a guy. I even know. Nate,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's like a Nate Willer put in his Charger. A guy that I know in town. He's an insurance or mortgage agent. He just put it in his Charger, and he's like, I might as well do it. You could just go in randomly, and it's just a takeoff, and who gets to the end at what it is, So it's
So
like,
there's not actual drag race. It's just like I'm gonna use my Honda Civic and I'm gonna enter and see if I can win.
well, some of those are like they actually are fitted out for drag racing.
Well, I assume, but
It's not like the like you're saying, where they have to go up in a parachute.
right, and they have the long torsos
they're-
and
they're-
stuff.
Yeah, literally.
Like, why? That's what I was thinking.
wheels in the air.
Why do they have those in Wilmer? I was like, what?
No,
Yeah.
just
Drag racing capital of the world. Little did you know.
right. Yeah.
It should be.
I
No,
mean,
they don't.
yeah, I've only seen. I think Tim the Tabman actually like reacted to some drag racing clips or whatever.
Oh, he did.
But
That's like months ago, wasn't it? Was it recently?
it was a while ago.
Yeah.
I know people in Grand Rapids that would like street race and they'd meet up and they'd post on their Snap stories like, we're street racing tonight, like come out, like it's gonna be cool and like blah blah, and they like always get busted by the cops.
I've never been to one of those. That would be kind of cool seeing like what type of more
I mean, it's like the same
city-looking
shit.
cars.
Yeah, it's like the same shit. So it's like not in a rural area.
Right.
Everyone's trying to flex their car and like blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
like,
Fast and
I've straight
Furious.
piped this fucking BMW, so now it sounds like a lawnmower. And like,
It's just funny because all the rich kids in the city are gonna buy Beamers,
Right.
but all the rich kids in the country are gonna buy like freaking Cummins, like
Yeah.
Cummins.
Well, the
Yeah, what
diesel of Ram, Dodges, Cummins.
Just-
and, yeah.
well, I guess it doesn't sound like that, but
Doesn't
Yeah,
sound like
no, it's just so you get the whistle.
duh.
Like the diesel.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when they
the-
get up, there's like.
the turbo.
Yeah, it's just as gnarly. It's just as when they go roll coal. That's their thing, or they appreciate like some crappy truck that they drove at 13 when they got their farmer's permit. Be like, actually, I'm gonna pull in 20 grand to make it look decent.
Yeah,
And it's
smokestacks.
Yeah, literally. Let me get that Pioneer plate on there. Oh my god, it's a relic. No.
So back to the driving though. Did your dad teach you how to drive too?
Yeah, sadly. It was a
Does he suck at driving or what?
No, he's just his Mercury Tracer. I remember one of the first
The
time.
Mercury Tracer.
Oh, it was a Jimmy, the GMC Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yep. And so the Tracer, drive it, and you just, whatever that is, like the 2.10 and 3. Was that?
Oh, yep.
2.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. 10 and 2. And then one time I just was like, I got the hang of this. It's just casual.
Yeah, there. Yeah,
Yeah, and then he goes, pull over.
Pull over.
Yeah, pull over. Yeah, and then it just is like, and every single time he'd treat it like it was hey,
Like a
we're
test?
going to, no, it was like, hey, we're going to Dairy Queen type of thing.
You want to
as a
try?
kid.
My parents do that too.
Yeah.
They like make
Yeah.
excuses for me to
Yeah.
like get out on the road.
I never wanted to drive.
Yeah.
I wanted to drive all the time, but it was just as a matter of then getting in there. And mom was pretty loose about it, and then dad was just kind of like, you didn't look over behind. You always have to look. You think I'm going to pay for this? This car only has comprehensive insurance on it. Like, and it's just a classic Dave in that part because
Right.
he doesn't also just like sitting there and being driven somewhere. I've never seen my mom drive my dad anywhere. Maybe after a surgery. That's probably the only time.
He was like,
When he physically
I got it.
Yeah.
It's such a
Don't worry, honey.
it's inexcusable thing, like a weird misogynistic thing. Oh, the misogynistic is that the right word?
So that was what I was going to lead into. I was just like, do you think it is like the duty of the father to teach the kids how to drive the car? Because Ingrid is a far better driver than me.
Oh, really?
She can parallel park better. She is just more aware, not going as fast, just an all-around better driver than me. And I wouldn't want me to teach our kids.
I kind of want to be the fun guy. I don't know. I don't really think.
What does that mean?
What's
I'm gonna be the fun guy.
75?
Mom's going to teach you.
Yeah, you want to bump her up just a little
I mean,
bit.
it's 70 here, but
Yeah.
I usually go 85, 90. You can kind of push it. The cops are pretty lax in this area.
Oh, my God.
Nah, the son is first. He's going to
fun
learn how to
guy.
haul a trailer, actually, first time.
Dude, I did that for the first time this fall, I think.
Dude,
Or
what
this
Really?
past summer.
Nice.
Reversing a trailer. like parking a trailer.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
fun.
Like one of those parking simulators where you're the big 18-wheeler?
In real life.
It was like a
Yeah, except real life.
It was a simulator?
No, it was like a simulator, but I was in a real truck and had a real trailer.
Huh.
And I was in the real John Deere parking lot.
No,
in,
never done that.
Benson, Minnesota.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's like very.
That's a very real
like,
life simulator.
Yeah, like I think Unreal Engine 5
Something like that. Yeah, I believe it.
was the
Right.
the engine.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty
In
realistic.
Benson.
Yeah.
Car capital of the world.
Didn't know a lot of people knew about that town, but apparently it's pretty big for the simulator industry.
Yeah, I mean Luke Bryan knows. So
Yeah.
True. He
Luke
got the
Bryan
word
knows.
out.
The world knows.
With no band, just strictly acoustic.
Yeah, strictly acoustic, half an hour set, and he fucking was drunk the whole time.
He was, and just listen to his. What did we listen to? His radio when he was interviewed on the radio.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we were,
yeah.
we were pulling that up on the way back from North Dakota.
What's the Benson
FM.
KSCR?
He was doing some interview and
It
he
has to
sounded
be
like
CR at the end. I think it is.
KSCR
KCR 89.7.
24 FM.
Yeah.
No.
we're rock hard and we rock real hard.
I remember I was like, well, are you excited to be here in Benson, Minnesota? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, like,
That's all-
I remember his answer.
Yeah.
He was very just like, all right, I'm doing this for the promo,
Yeah.
and then I'm getting out of
It
here.
was like it was the classic. I mean,
It was a classic. Like he hoped that this town wouldn't get it. You know, like
Yeah.
he was like, the odds are, I'm gonna be in New York, L.A. I mean, they got millions of people.
Right.
They got millions of
Right.
people living there. The
community.
Yeah, it'll be just
He loved the
a real
community.
city show. I mean, they got the bets are up. Like there's 1 million people. I mean, they're gonna vote every day. And then they get the manager comes back to him. He's like, well, Luke, we're going to Benson, Minnesota. He's like, Benson, Minnesota, like, yeah.
And then he looks it up on Google Maps and he sees it, doesn't say a word, walks over to the liquor cabinet and pours himself
Yeah.
a strong glass
He's like,
of whiskey.
all my exes are from Benson.
No, I think in the interview he said something along the lines of like the classic like, oh yeah, I mean, I just love like going to new places, get to experience like a place, find new places to eat that I like, and
He's like, the community here is just, the classic Midwest,
but I'm pretty sure he went like he threw up the kind of pitch of like the places to eat
He went to Mexican
like. And then he was like, he was fishing for like the spots in Benson
that he saw on the way in that he didn't actually stop to.
And if he knew what he was talking about, he would have said Me Mexico and the Benson Bakery.
Yeah, he's like, what's that called?
no, McKenzie's bar.
Grandpa's Pop Shop. What's it called?
Perkins.
Casa Mario. I don't know.
What is
TJ's and their homemade
the-
ressrecipe of the Olays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
TJ's.
there's no TJ's. That's in Morris.
True.
Train stop.
Train stop.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No TJ's in Benson.
Was it Taco Bell then? Or is it BK?
There's a BK.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There's
Hanging
a
on by a
BK.
thread.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if
Yeah.
I can play the bingo here.
Yep.
In Benson, Minnesota, Nate's hometown, the fast food that is available to you is a BK, a Subway, and a Dairy Queen stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Which are only open this summer.
So, when do you think you first tasted McDonald's in your life?
In Wilmer.
Yeah, Wilmer is half an hour.
All right, come on now. So, but like,
It's right
give me a fast food that you like saw on the TV,
Okay.
and you're just like, oh, I can't wait till I get my hands on that. Like, what was a fast food for you that you like just dreamt of eating?
Cane's.
No, I didn't even know Cane's existed until
I didn't know
college.
either. Same. And that was my favorite.
I think it got big like during high school.
I don't know.
Mine.
I don't know. I mean, like, I do know that my favorite fast food item, like, even till now, is a Burger King Whopper.
You always say that. I think we might have to go do that after this episode or
The
something.
Burger King Whopper is not. I don't know if I've ever had one.
It's great.
I don't think I've had one either. I've only gotten the $1.10 nuggets or whatever the hell from Burger
I got
King.
chicken fries. That's
The
about
Whopper
it.
is what Burger King does best.
I believe it. I mean, they're Burger King. They're the king of burgers.
They're weird.
What?
It's just so weird.
What is? Yeah, they're weird.
Burger King. I think, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to, I just never in my brain have absolutely logged out Burger King's an actual place.
It's like an option.
Yeah, so like, every single time I drive by, I don't even notice there's a Burger King. Like the other day, like, then I saw Joe, Megan's dad, come in with Burger King. I was like, Burger King. I was like, is it really down bad day? Like, are you
True. No, that's the reaction when someone has Burger King. You're like, was there
a breakup?
You know, was there not even a gas station you could go to?
I would choose a gas station. I would choose
exactly.
Quick Trip.
That's what I'm saying.
I would choose Quick Trip over a BK.
Wow, you were really in the middle of nowhere. A BK, man.
For me, it's like a hidden gem. I will agree that like, when I see a BK, I'm like, wow, those still exist. You know, like they're not all gone. But if I'm like looking for food and I see a BK and like there's nothing else.
There you go. You just compromise your own fucking point. BK is bottom tier fucking fast food.
I'm sorry,
It's kind of
BK.
like even like Arby's is not even that rank. You know what I mean? Like,
that hurts.
Well,
Yeah.
I love guys. Maybe I think my ranking system is upside down to everyone else's.
Probably.
Because I put McDonald's at the bottom. I put BK
I can't do that though.
no.
I won't put
fourth.
I won't put McDonald's at the bottom.
Because there's got to be a lot of things to think about. I'm thinking of accessibility, how long they're open, the convenience of it.
I'm just saying food
the
quality.
order, how fast it comes, the rewards.
I mean, if we're saying food quality, like McDonald's is very hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, all right, is this a fresh burger or has this been sitting in there for like
Yeah.
20 minutes and now it's just like kind of gummy, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say, man, like the top. I feel like the highest one in my ranking is like a good burger. The Dairy Queen Jamestown always has good burgers. So if I'm thinking of like going to a good burger or something like that, I'll go to like a Dairy Queen, like their
have good
flamethrower or yeah, it's like a spicy kind of like I think there's bacon on it, or they just like they're normal. I like a cheeseburger where it just is like, oh, you get your lettuce, you get everything on it, kind of like a Hardee's burger, but Hardee's is just also weird. And
Dude, I had a friend that worked at Hardee's in high school.
did they get shot?
I think he has a kid now.
Well, that lines up.
But I'm just thinking of burger names, it's just like the flamethrower, the big beast boy, the cum dumpster, it's just like let's just name it.
Stretching.
Just name it anything.
The A1 sauce steakhouse burger.
Oh, okay.
The blast your mama in the mouth.
Nate, I remember after we went thrifting and we got that Wendy's pub burger.
I like one.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that was probably like I don't know what it was about that experience, but that was like probably it might have been the best burger of my fast food life.
It is so good.
It was good. So it was really good tasting, but as I was eating it, I was like, pretzel bun with fucking like
Oh, so we got this
beer cheese.
Yeah, we got this old lady talking to us. The kids are fucking around in the bathroom, and the employee's telling her she's not going to heat up her fries for them because they've been in the bathroom
The
for 10
couple
minutes.
next to us, the lady has a black eye, and the husband is across, just like hasn't showered in a week.
And then they go
like,
get in their van without a front bumper.
Yeah.
You're like, well,
tinted.
where am I? St. Paul. Yeah, sounds about right.
That's so like the McDonald's in Faribault, the Faribault one. You pull up to pay, and then you look right in there. Probably about a 12-year-old kid, black eye, and just shaking, just like, can I have your? It's horrible. It's just like, how are you allowed to be even?
Well, you know why he's shaking is because he's scared to see what the person that ordered the Wendy's chili looks like.
Yeah, that.
Because this fucker orders the chili from Wendy's.
It's just as scary as I imagined.
You know what?
He knows that only two people get that: his abusive father and his fucking molester fucking kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, literally.
And John Listle.
Yeah.
And that's the best part is like I remember my dad going into Wendy's because that was cool. They had the fries, the Frosty. There's a nut-free place. The burgers are pretty good, so we go there as a kid. And I always remember my dad. Oh God, I looked at that light. I always remember my dad. Actually just sitting there, and he'd look up at the thing.
Yeah. What would you say?
And he's like, I actually might go with the chili today. And it's just every time, it was almost on cue.
It's like, Dad, you go get chili every time.
Yeah, you ordered it, and he was like, and actually we'll get a chocolate frosty with it too. And I just see him quietly just.
and he's kind of like, he's trying to find something new, so he's kind of dipping the frosty spoon in the chili.
The fries and the frosty, the combination.
He kind of gags a little bit, but then swallows. It's fine.
And then it's just always great because it's always an hour ride home, and he doesn't care if his farts are audible or if the windows are locked.
Yeah.
Don't open the window. We're driving on the interstate.
Yeah,
Dad,
it's gonna ruin the miles per gallon.
Yeah, literally.
I can't.
I don't like that sound. Yep, classic. But it's got to be saying like the top tier, the best burger I've ever had was recently.
Really?
Yeah, the best burger fast food, and I feel like the place that we went to in North Dakota after the hockey game, that place was like, I think
Where
that's
did
a
we go?
considered
That was
fast food.
good.
It's like a Freddy's Steakhouse or something.
Oh, the Freddy's Fries. Yeah, that was a good burger.
Yeah, that was a
That
really
one
good burger.
blew my mind.
We were also on the brink of death.
Oh my
So,
God,
like,
that was so weird, guys. So when we were up in North Dakota, we went to the hockey game or whatever the hell. Stayed at John's cousins.
Cole's dead.
Yep, Cole is dead, and we're on our way back, right? And we're just so hungry because we're just violently hungover. We had to get up early to get the fuck out of there, and we're driving around. We're like, oh, Popeyes, man! I've been to this Popeyes in Fargo. Like, we know what it's
good.
about.
It's
It's
so
a good
good.
Popeye. It's served us well in the past. Pull up, and there's other dudes getting out. I'm like, and then they start, like, we see them walk up to the door, and then they turn back around, and I'm like, I had to kind of yell to them, like, are they closed? And they're like, they're closed, man. I'm like, what the
They're
fuck?
closed, man.
Like, on a Sunday, we're like, oh, okay, that's weird. What the hell? So then I think we go to like a Taco Bell.
I think it was a John's.
Okay, Taco John's, and
It was bitching.
Yeah, I was bitching. Dude, anyway, you keep going.
and we were like, all right, well, maybe this is just one store thing. We're like, and we're kind of still getting out of the pandemics. We're like, maybe shortened work hours or something like that. Maybe they just open late on Popeyes. I don't know. So we just pull up to the Taco John's, and there's no cars in the parking lot, and we're like, do we even go through the drive? He's like, no one's working here today. And then we're like, all right, Sonic. It's got to be Sonic, right? Like, Sonic, we're going to get something. And I think there were cars in the Sonic, like, whatever, drive up or whatever the hell. And we were like, do we press the menu? First of all, I've never been to a Sonic, so I don't know how it works. But I think we walked inside, and we were, wasn't it you and me, Nate? We were just standing there, and no one was coming up to the register. And we're like, all right.
And I'm pretty sure there's a big sign at the, like, checkout or, like, register area that was like hiring or something like that, or it was like a poster on the wall or something like that, and we were like, well, there's your answer.
Yeah, got no one to fucking feed us.
Yeah.
And so then I think our fourth stop was at Freddy's.
Yeah, so I was like, I was very irritable. I was very
Yes, you were.
very hangry, and I was just looking for places, and like we had like
And we
obviously,
couldn't, and also we couldn't decide on a place.
Yes,
like
so we
everyone
couldn't-
wanted different things.
yeah, so we couldn't decide, and I was like, all right, this looks like a great taco place. Like, it's got good stuff. Like, it looks great. Like, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I was
close
so
by.
against that decision.
And then I'm like, is everyone fine with this? And John's like, they use peanut oil. And I'm like, fuck me.
It's classic.
So we gotta keep looking. And I'm just like, at that point, I would have fed John. I would have force fed
Yeah.
John a peanut burrito.
Sorry, buddy. We'll bring your body back
and
home.
honestly, in the back of my brain, it was kind of like a 75% chance, if I remembered it correctly. And then I was sitting there, just as like I was imagining myself, man, just imagining you're hungover, you shove a bunch of street tacos and burritos in here, a car full of 5 guys, and you drive 5 hours back.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is something I don't want to do. And one, I've been on so many trips with Henry, shitting his pants, that both of us combined that it's enough for 2 people to deal with it.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
Yeah, so
And
I was
it
like,
will.
and then it was like, well, okay, fucking Freddy's did, whatever. And that was,
It was great.
I thought the burger was, it was like the fries. I love how they did the fries, the sauce.
Oh, the little shoestring.
Yeah,
fries.
the fry sauce was interesting. We always saw that sauce in stores, but we never were like,
Right. It's like, wait, where is that actual restaurant?
Right.
it was kind of like right next to the Chick-fil-A sauce, it seemed like all the time.
Yep.
What was I gonna say? Something about the sauce. Something about. Ooh. Culver's Burger.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best fast food burger to me.
That's really good.
I've never
Yep.
had it.
They're also just like glutton burgers, like they will just make you just like after you're done. Like, especially if you're eating the burger. If you're going to Culver's and you're getting the full Culver's mix, you know, you're getting the full experience. The burger, the burger, the fries, the root beer, the concrete mixer. You know, dude,
obesity in the United States.
Yeah, literally.
Like that is like probably like 3,000 calories just right there down your throat, and soon to be up your throat in about 2 hours.
So that's how I've like evolved my fast food experience to where it's just like, is someone going to make me feel good after this or bad?
Right.
So every time, actually, like when I go to McDonald's, I'll just get like 2 single cheeseburgers.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And it just is like, I know that's not going to F me up like, what's their Big Mac or...
Right. Or like a quarter pounder or something.
Yeah, I just get one of those, or just as like other places, like chicken never really does it to me. Like that's pretty fine, but like Taco Bell too, I'm always getting some, you know, small, minuscule. It's so good. And, you know, Dairy Queen's the place for me where I'm just like, I can't get any of their ice cream, but I can get like their, I'll get cheese curds there, and that's horrible. Imagine having a half-hour lunch, getting a flamethrower and a side of medium cheese curds once like every month.
I wouldn't go back to work.
No, you can't really. Imagine just standing up.
Sorry, guys. Flamethrower got me. I'm throwing flames right now on
and
my
then
ass.
you use the actual public bathroom in the store instead of going all the way downstairs to employee and just destroy it. But it's fine because, you know, you clean it later anyway. So.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
As a funny thing, I would love to ask, actually. So whenever you go in, I've cleaned a lot of women's bathrooms.
Okay.
My time at Total Clean
Yep.
and men's bathrooms.
Yep.
And in between bathrooms.
I've cleaned women's bathrooms when I was a janitor.
Yeah. I've done a lot of that janitorial work, and I'm doing it at age, so it just feels, you know, whatever. I don't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it about sometimes, like the women's bathroom? There's always underneath the seat, someone just, I don't know how you shit, and it hits up and into the seat. Like, so you see your toilet bowl?
Yep.
And then you have the seat down?
Yep.
And then right in between the toilet bowl and the seat, there's just splatter. It's like a kid was in there playing.
They just got extra power, man.
I was just like, yeah, I know one girl who always goes in there. She works at the store right next to it. It's
Wait,
like
she works at the store next to it, but she'll shit in your bathroom?
Well, it's all connected.
I was like, well, fuck her.
Yeah, you know, yeah. I was connected, but I know around the time she comes, she drops a massive deuce, and that thing clears. And she'll leave that door open, kickstand down, you know, air it
she's
out,
shitting?
right? No.
Oh,
no.
I was like, oh my
no,
God.
right after she's done.
Not shitting in her own building, keeping the door open. Bro, this girl's a menace to society.
No, literally. And she just does it, and oh my, I just never smelled just something sour. You know what I mean? Like,
It's funny that you say that, though, because my sister's husband, my brother-in-law, owns a building in Minneapolis, and he always is, like, telling me, because, like, you know, sometimes I take care of the building, whatever, and he's like, you know, there's this one dude that will blow it up. You know, he's in on these days, so, like, you gotta check on, like, these days to check, like, the certain toilet, because he blows it up, like, every time, and you have to, like, clean it or whatever the hell. And sure enough, man, like clockwork. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I'm praying for your colon, that your shits are just, like, not solid and just, like, just water, you know?
Yikes.
But I was like, wow, that is so funny. Well, think about that. Like my brother-in-law knows this dude's like shit schedule, you know, and like knows that it's gonna be horrible and there's gonna be fucking hell to pay.
It needs assistance.
Yeah.
oh, that's it. We were no better in college. I remember after college when we graduated, we were like, hey guys, we got our first solid poop. You know?
No, literally, bro. That calf food.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the last story, because I guess we have to go through, but just walk in the cap after, because you know you have to go to the bathroom probably after, can't make it to the dorm. You just walk in the men's bathroom and someone just went like this on the ceiling and all up.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Just imagine the wall of this. Fuck Davis.
True. Honestly, respect for throwing your shit on the wall. Like,
Wait, where was this?
it was in the campus center, and it was just like a beautiful painting, you know, just a backsplash. Like, they should have sold it in a gallery. Like, it is exactly what John said. So it looked like someone just underhand and just.
Imagine Ernie going in, closing out the cap and just opening it up, and he's underpaid, $16 an hour maybe, or
Jesus.
15. He just goes in there and just is like,
A blank canvas.
yeah. He actually just closes it up, locks it.
And he would pull down his pants and shit too, and then add to
He's
it.
pissing on the mirror. He's like, I'm watching myself.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Respect.
I'm glad we got to the shitting part of
Yeah,
the podcast at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we needed to.
Yeah, right. You can't go anywhere from here. There's just
There's just shit from now on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the only there's
or
no
you just
transitioning.
stop.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Well, we hope your shit is as solid as we hope ours is, as consistent. And the biggest thing that you can do to really give the middle finger to someone is go like this, maybe softball size, and say, "Kingdom come." And up there it is.
Thy will be done.
Yeah, on earth as it is in heaven.
And give us this day our daily loony.
Yeah.
And forgive us our trespasses.
That's all right. I have it copied and
We make our own
pasted.
rendition.
Hey, as we forgive those who haven't subscribed to the LooneyBin YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Also
And
follow
lead us not
on-
into temptation and disliking our videos.
Yeah.
For thine is the kingdom, the YouTube, and the Twitch forever and ever. Subscribe. All right.
And we'll see you later.
See you next time.